Hi, I'm Jacob Lundy again with the Clark-Esposito Law Firm PC in New York City. As a part of our Build a Better Business video series, today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what might be described as the regulation web and how you can get a head start in a new business venture by confronting all of the ways in which your new business may be regulated in advance. At the Clark-Esposito Law Firm PC, we strongly advocate this, as confronting all of the ways in which your business is likely to be regulated in advance will streamline the upstart or expansion process, prevent surprises and violations of law, and of course, save time and money in the long run. We often hear from prospective new clients who are starting new businesses, often highly regulated new businesses, and who believe that starting a new business in a certain field will involve XYZ. Perhaps they are seeking assistance with corporate formation, obtaining a business license, even a specialty license. The cannabis industry is an excellent example of the regulation web and all the ways in which you may not anticipate a business is regulated. While all of the things I just mentioned are necessary, we encourage prospective new clients to consider all of the requirements of operating in a highly regulated environment before jumping in so that they can stage their startup, manage cost, and again, and perhaps most importantly, prevent surprises and accidental violations of law or regulations. Going back to the cannabis industry is an excellent example of the regulation web. Starting and operating a new cannabis business in a given state certainly involves establishing a business entity, corporate formation even, and often attaining specialized cannabis business licenses. However, among the states that we have navigated, new companies may also encounter any or all of the following. First, cannabis programs in many states are often regulated by more than one agency, and it's not uncommon for both agencies or more than two agencies to require different license types, and many have their own monthly reporting obligations. In addition, cannabis processors and retailers are required to demonstrate to the states in which they operate that their underlying product comes from a fully licensed and legal grow operation. Most states also have physical site requirements for cannabis businesses, and while these can vary widely, they often include provisions such as physical site security, CCTV requirements, access restrictions, and access for government inspections. As anyone currently in the cannabis industry certainly knows, all states also have a laboratory testing procedure and panel test lists. And while these are often very similar, it's important that operators follow the exact testing standards in each individual state's regulation. In addition, as we discussed in a separate Build a Better Business video series, many states require cannabis operators to have a set of comprehensive internal standard operating procedures. Many states' cannabis programs also provide for a variety of cannabis license types, and while these might vary widely across the various states, they often involve the grow operation, processing, and manufacturing, as well as retail licenses. Depending on the intended uses of your underlying cannabis products, many states also impose complex food safety, handling, and sanitation protocols for cannabis businesses. Finally, and importantly, most states now also include very complex inventory, excise taxation, and monthly tax reporting requirements for the cannabis industry. This is certainly not meant to discourage anyone from starting a highly regulated business. We only use these examples to illustrate some of the requirements new businesses will encounter and to highlight the importance of knowing what will be required when starting a new highly regulated business. These kinds of considerations apply to many industries, and unfortunately, we are often contacted by recent startups who have jumped into a highly regulated business without taking into account this regulation web. And in doing so, they often encounter unexpected costs and even unnecessary violations of regulation. At the Clark-Esposito Law Firm PC, one of the first things we do when working with new clients in a highly regulated business is to explore all of the ways in which their business is likely to be regulated and to provide a full upfront picture of the ways in which they'll be regulated and how to navigate this process. If you are currently working in a highly regulated industry and have questions, or if you're considering expanding into or opening in a new highly regulated industry, feel free to reach out to us at contact@clarkespositolaw.com or by telephone at 917-546-6997. And please feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch the next video in our series, Build a Better Business.
Subscribe and click the bell icon so you'll be the first to know when we upload a new video. Check out our playlist if you want to see more of our videos, and comment below and introduce yourself. We'll see you soon.